Could a bear involved in a fatal attack near Yellowstone National Park have been baited? That's what Montana wildlife officials are trying to figure out. A grizzly bear attacked campers as they slept at the Soda Butt campground, killing one man and injuring 2 other people. The female bear was euthanized and her cubs were moved to a zoo in Billings where they're under quarantine. Wildlife biologists say the bear was underweight but not starving. Officials say they're looking into allegations that a photographer might have been baiting wildlife in the area, and they say they're looking into anything that might help explain why the bear attacked the campers. Joining us this morning to give us an insight into the attack is Neil Anderson, director of the New Zoo in Swamico.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Hey, good morning.
I meant to say Butte. Let me just say that now at the campground.
Oh, yeah, that's
Butte.
right. So, Neil, we've
Sure.
heard about this bear attack for a while. I mean, does this happen a lot where a bear would attack people unprovoked?
No, it doesn't. And, really, you would almost have to go back to the 1980s out in the Yellowstone area to find a attack similar, an unprovoked attack. But normally, as biologists like myself and biologists out there, field biologists, as they're kind of looking into these cases, one of the things you usually find out, they looked at the bear was a little bit underweight. She's 221 pounds, 10 years old. Of course, she did have she had 3 cubs. Okay, normally, it's maybe around 2, and can be up to 4. So she did have a lot of taxing going, from her weight. Now, you can see behind me, this is Susie, our black bear. She's 26 years old. She's about 300 pounds. So just so you get an idea about the size of this particular bear that came in. Now, one of the things on this, Pete, is that normally what we see in those cases is what biologists call attractants. Okay, and usually sometimes this plays into, like say, into the whole event or up to the event, and where you just mentioned too that potentially somebody was baiting in the area, a wildlife photographer, and of course near that area. In one of the towns, they did see a young female or a female with some cubs earlier. So what happens is the animal gets habituated then to people. And then you have these attractants. Could be food, garbage. People could be, like say, feeding. A number of different things that are there. Now, in that whole campground, what happened is, the food was put away the way it should be done. But there may have been events leading up even before that, and now we're kind of seeing maybe that this is kind of unfolding, that then the bear then is, habituated to people, knows that there's a food source there, and is coming in, and pretty soon now you've got a problem. Unfortunately, then you have a problem with individuals who weren't even connected to that. So normally you're going to find something like that out. They did a necropsy, kind of checking the animal to make sure, was there any other problems? That would be the first thing you check. Teeth were fine, all that, but normally that's kind of what we're finding, and that there was an attractant, and probably in this case, it may have been somebody out baiting animals. And you got to remember, the saying out there, you get a fed bear, it's a dead bear, and eventually will be. They'll link the DNA up, and then they'll have to euthanize. Even if you look back, about a month or so prior to that, we had an individual that was killed outside the Yellowstone area, was in a bear capture area, in an area that was clearly marked, shouldn't have been in that area. And of course, there was baiting to bring the bear in to radio collar. So these incidents like this are very few, and far between. Unprovoked attack, unless the bear is actually startled or surprised, and then defending the young cubs.
Well, thanks for your insight, Neil.
Yeah.
What do you have for us next hour?
Well, next we're going to go to see the red panda. We're introducing a female red panda to our male red panda, so we're going to take a look over at the red pandas this morning.
Excellent.
Thanks, Neil. See you then.